Hello, how's it going today? And I am back with another movie review. Now, this movie is probably the most peculiar and I wouldn't say unique to movies. I wouldn't put in that concept, but this movie was weird, right? It's a found footage movie. You know how much I love my found footage movies, right? And this movie's only at what 73 minutes long or something like that. It's like 1 hour and 1 hour and 13 minutes basically, and it's called Evil Tapes. Not The Evil Tapes, just Evil Tapes. And it was very weird. Now, this movie probably has one of the worst acting I've seen. Well, one of the worst acting in any movie. But this movie gave me a sense of just eeriness and it freaked me out a little bit. I'm gonna get to it soon and I'm gonna explain more about it. But it starts off with this woman getting back up from bed and lying back down in bed, and then it goes to like one of the tapes. It's like a horror anthology basically, but I'll get more to it afterwards. Basically, so it's also for this cameraman. This guy, I think the cameraman guy is called Alex. He's important soon. Don't worry about that. He'll be quite significant. And then he's with this woman. I've forgotten her name now. Then they're gonna check this house for squatters basically because the manager told her, well, the manager or boss and they said, oh, there's squatters around. And they go into this weird looking house thing. Because the house is small, no stairs at all in it. Not that I remembered from it. I might leave a bit of details on this movie because I might have forgotten them or I probably might have missed out a tape in this one. So they go into this house and they find a pentagram in the mirror and they hear these noises and they see that this person dressed up in white. They see this woman dressed up in all white, you know how it is, long hair, and she's facing, she's having her back to them, and she's in like the bathroom or something, the shower, standing. It's maybe a shower basically, and she just stands on it. She has a weapon and she goes, and this person dressed up in a white, who I assume is male, is going to attack him too. I think they'll do some sort of ritual to summon up a demon or something. So yeah, and then they both escape out. Then this ends with this I ends with this what the two people just closing the door again. It's hard for me to explain this movie because there's not really. This is probably one of the easiest movies to memorize, in terms of like not much happens in each tape. So the next movie I think is the second one is. I think either the Rapunzel doll one or the other one. So the next one, I'm just gonna say this probably next movie. Right? This guy, I think it's Alex again, who's going to be the main cameraman in all of them. He sees this like with this black girl and he talks and stuff like that. And they go into this house, and she's a bit crazy. So she's a bit wacky and not right in the head or something. And she's got that fuzzy. Something was seriously wrong with her. And she goes in this house and it's abandoned and stuff like that. Obviously, I think she was made. I don't know if she made homeless. She was just abandoned there. And it's like something comes out of the wardrobe, and she was like, "Don't film, don't film." Please don't tell me don't film. The voice in my head. She's got like some crazy issues going with her mentally. I just don't know what was going on in this movie half the time. The acting was bad. It gave me a sense of paranoia half the time. And then the guy escapes out again. I don't know. I mean, it'll become a common theme later on. And then the third tape was the Rapunzel doll, which is the doll was haunted basically. And then this, this before this woman opens the door, she's blonde hair, something like that, and she just smile like this. Hi, you here for the doll? Yeah, okay, you for the doll. Look at the door there. Look at the. It freaked me out. Seriously, this movie is definitely feeling a bit eerie. I know other movies have done that, really good ones. This one had something weird about it, had a weird vibe, and then I knew there was something off with these people. It's like these people are coming out to get them, or coming out to get this guy, and and she didn't ask. And this doll was like, she said it's haunted and moves. It said that she has when the door was her, and then it comes up towards the end. It's like this woman this woman's possessed, and it's like a dressed up like a Cinderella doll or something, and her body twitches, shakes, and the other woman looks back, and they both look at this dude, and the dude just runs out. Literally, the acting is quite bad. Literally, it was all cliche. It was like it was weird. I don't know whether to laugh or cry at it because it was quite a freaky movie. And then I don't know how much to describe it. I don't want to go too much in detail. And then the next one comes up, and it was just like this guy says his fiance is having trouble because his fiance is possessed, basically. You know, as they show some of the CCTV crime related to that, and it was a bit silly in this part of the tape where she was going around all possessed and it was like she was on alcohol and drugs at the same time. I was just thinking, what's this cliche bit going on here? But I got to admit though, they kind of nearly got me with the mini jump scares, which wasn't that much. And then it goes to one scene when she's sitting on the kitchen counter in the corner, and this guy just from holy water and all that stuff, and he was like, yeah, and that's how to stop her multiple personalities. Maybe she's possessed. You can't just bring out a religious book and think it's going to make a difference, mate, because it never does. They don't fear that. They pretend to fear, but they don't. And then he makes her read some extract from the Bible or something, and walks away, and he was like, oh, the knife is missing. Why and how can you not notice her taking a knife? And they didn't show any bit like that. They come and just go straight on that bit, and then it cuts to obviously the whole typical line, oh, where's the knife going? And somebody's got the knife and boom. And then she eventually attacks the guy, and the guy was like, cut, please, cut, stop. And then the guy just runs out, and I'm just like, what's going on in this movie? Like, seriously, this movie is really crazy. And then there's another tape, I'm not even going to order, I'm just going to go like this, right? And another movie of like, this like siren head, this woman that acts crazy as well, they all got bad vibes about them. I mean, I don't know how people don't see them in the street and think there's something wrong with them. Seriously, it was that weird. Horror movies would gradually make you find out that they're crazy or insane. And I may have missed out some important details, which I've just got back in my head now. But you have to watch it for yourself to see. And there was a sign that this woman's like, this is a hotel, right? They go out to a forest and she screams as if she's trying to communicate with the thing. And I'm just like, what's going on here? Bear in mind, this is the same cameraman that goes to these people and actually talks to them. And bear in mind too, when each take finishes, there's a text. Now, I don't bother with the text. It's very strange. It felt like the audio from someone reading these messages is kind of like something you would hear in a Counter-Strike game. You know what I mean? And then when they see Siren Head, they run, they get out the forest, and they go back into the room. And then Siren Head just starts walking around the street and stuff. I thought that was cool. I like Siren Head. I like the whole concept of it. I found that pretty cool. One of the coolest tapes there. And then there's this guy. I think this is the same dude. I think in his place or something, and he summons that Bloody Mary, and then obviously she comes out. But the weird thing is what this dude does. His house was already kind of haunted before he even started doing the ritual, so that didn't make much sense to me. What was going on? The acting was still bad. And then each time the tape ends, each tape that ends, it says, oh, forgive me, and end. I was just like, forgive you? Okay, that's what the title is called in each of these tapes. I don't know why this guy titled it like that, because he didn't have reliable equipment, but he did. And then this woman starts saying to her, that she's being stalked by a clown, and the ex-boyfriend won't do anything about it. And they go into a wood and they see the clown. I think there's multiple clowns too. I don't know if she set the whole thing up. I'm shorting these tips as short as I can. They're quite short, so I recommend you watch them if you want to. And then the last bit was like, I think that this is the last tape of it, and this is where we get to find out who that woman on the bed actually was, basically. And then this girl said, oh, she's my friend. Her friend's name's called Lisa. So he said, oh, this is my friend Lisa. She's something's wrong with her. She's possessed. And they go into a basement. She doesn't like too much light. She doesn't like too much noise. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fair enough. Then I made that old cliche thing to make it more scary, and the guy doesn't. It's like they wanted to pop out because they thought her friend was getting a bit crazy and mental. And then when it gradually got towards the end, because she wanted to go back in the basement, and she wanted to get to the bottom of what's happening because she thought Alex could help. Now, to be fair, and then at the end, I just don't know what to make of this movie, so it's just rattling in my head. I'm trying to remember all these parts and scenes. And then she goes in this little shaft thing in the basement thing. I don't know what it's called. She's like, oh, come here. And she has a weird smile on her face like this. And then there's no pupils in her eyes. So it freaked me out. For a movie that's really poorly acted, it freaked me out to the point where it made me eerie. It made me not want to go out at night or go to another house. There was something weird about it. I don't know. it shouldn't have made me feel like that for a terrible horror movie, but it did. I think it was average movie. I can't think of the life for me. I've never known a movie where you just see the crazy person straight up. I think there is, but not in this manner. And it was quite tedious when each scene where when the guy was about to get murdered. It's like, I don't know. It kind of was. It felt weird, right? Right, and for this dude to constantly do it, he should know what's coming around the corner. These people are literally crazy. And I feel sorry for this Alex dude, but at the same time, it's like, why would you go into these things? Like, he's escaped. How did he escape all this? Like, it would make more sense if they killed him, because that'd be like a real life type of scenario. But the guy just escaped every scenario and just went back in the home. And obviously, I realized it was the same cameraman in every because of the voice and stuff. But I realized one thing too, and this is in some of the tapes I realized. What if there was a sense of loneliness about these people and that made them go mental, and some demon? They need a demon to conjure up or something to make them feel company. That's what I felt out from these movies. I have no clue on what to think of this movie. I really don't. The rating is quite half of because the acting was terrible, but it made me. I watched terrible acting movies, and none of them made me feel a sense of paranoia and eeriness because it's making me look over my shoulders, making me more paranoid. It's the way they were. It's the vibes that it was giving me. It was giving me dodgy vibes to not trust people for some strange reason. There's people that have got mental health issues, but in that manner, I'm not quite sure. To be honest, it freaked me out. People might think, "Oh, you're just being a baby." I'm not a baby, but it's just, especially with the way they smile at you when these people are possessed. It's like it's very haunting, I should say, for a movie that could have been this. If it was more jump scaring, it was a bit more better acted, and they had a bit more to it. It would have been a really good found footage horror movie for something that's an hour and 13. The acting was bad, but they made up for it by actually making me feel a bit eerie. I don't know. I could speak so much about it, but it's almost like this guy was trying to get set up. I do believe these people are crazy, but how did they get a hold of him to begin with? That's what I don't seem to understand. And these people are crazy. How are they so able to get someone and pay them to do all this? That's what I don't understand. So the logic of this movie is a bit flawed. Can you let me know in the comments on what you think the theories could be to this movie? Because found footage and anthologies, they're really cool to watch because it makes me think. It makes me analyze each tape and think, oh, I wonder what happens then. I wonder what because each tape must have a certain meaning to it too. Some tapes intertwine it together, so it's like, I don't know what to think. This guy escaped death so many times. I couldn't do that. I mean, if I have to give this a rating, it's an average movie. I would have given it lower if it didn't make me feel so eerie and so freaked out by things. So there was bits and pieces that made me think they should have done better. Like literally, I think I probably missed out one tape. And I'm pretty sure I remember what that tape was. A guy going to an abandoned house and there were these clowns there. Or someone like put makeup and start attacking. I think that's one of the scenes. Unless I was in one of the same tapes. But yeah, 5 out of 10. I'll give this for this movie. You might give it low, which I don't blame you, but just look at the deeper picture to this whole movie. I think the eeriness in this is not too bad. It made me feel so much. Made me think that's what a whole movie is meant to create. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share with everyone. Subscribe and hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.